Today we are going to know about the class Palynology. Palynology is a branch of botany which deals with the study of spores and pollen of extant and extinct plants, means living as well as fossil plants. The word palynology was proposed by Hyde and Williams, which in Greek means the palyno is to be sprinkled, and the pale means dust. Nehemiah grew in 1640 for the first time observed pollen grains under the microscope. And Gunnar Ertman of Sweden, known as father of palynology, he prepared the palynology as a complete discipline. Most of the terminology and descriptions used in palynology nowadays were proposed by him. He wrote the books Pollen Morphology and Plant Taxonomy and Handbook of Palynology. Indian scientists also contributed to a lot to the palynology like Vishnu Mitre, B.S. Venkatachalam, S.C. Ghosh, Sunirmal Chanda, D.C. Bharadwaj, Manju Banerjee, and C.G.K. Ramanujam, S.T. Tilak, Vishwe Bhojraj, P.K.K. Nair, S.N. Agashe, H.P. Singh, and Maheshwari, K.M. Lele, J.K.B. Nawale, and M.P. Nair. First of all, pollen is a male gametophyte first cell of the anther after meiotic division. So, pollen mother cell by means of meiosis, it gives rise to pollen grains as a tetrad. So, in pollen tetrad, the four pollen which are arranged in a tetrad manner, which are arranged in a tetrahedral manner, the point at which the four pollen grains are going to meet is called as a proximal pole, and the opposite side of that pole is to be known as distal pole. The imaginary line which is drawn or which is intersecting these two poles is known as polar axis, and the axis perpendicular to the polar axis is to be known as equatorial axis. So this is to be useful the position to know the position of the apertures. So pollen grain is the first cell of male gametophyte. It is produced by it is protected by inner cellulosic layer, intine, and the outer exine layer which is made up of sporopollen. The pollen morphological features mainly are to be present in the outer layer of pollen wall, which is the exine layer. The apertures on exine layer mainly are the number, position, and characters, which helps in the classification and evolutionary process. The central point where all the tetrads of pollen grains will meet, known as proximal pole, and the opposite pole is the distal pole. The imaginary line which is drawn from proximal pole to distal pole is known as polar axis, and the line drawn perpendicular to the polar axis is known as equatorial axis. So some of the characteristic features which we know of the pollen grains are polarity. The part of the pollen grain which is near to the center of the tetrad is proximal pole, and opposite is to be the distal pole. The imaginary line which is drawn from proximal to distal pole is polar axis, and the opposite to that is a equatorial axis. The pollen grain which is looked in the equatorial view, and this second one is the polar view. And symmetry, the pollen grains are symmetric as well as asymmetric. Asymmetric grains have no plane of symmetry, and the symmetric grains are radiosymmetric as well as bilateral symmetry. According to the shape of the pollen grains, it may be circular, elliptical, rectangular, or quadrangular. Gunnar Ertman classified 8 shape classes based on the ratio of polar axis and equatorial axis multiplying by 100, which gives the shape of pollen grains. It may be circular and prolate, oblate, as well as triangular. And coming to size, pollen grain shows greater variation in size. The smallest pollen grains, which are about 5 to 2.4 microns, are noted in Myocystis palustris, and the largest pollen grains, more than 200 microns in diameter, are observed in Cucurbitaceae family members. And coming to apertures, morphologically, apertures are nothing but an opening or thinning of axon. Physiologically, it is a germination zone. Regarding their position, apertures are polar, global, or equatorial. They are the present in different plant species. And types of apertures, two basic types are noticed. They are simple apertures as well as compound apertures. In simple apertures, only one type of aperture, either it is porous or furrow-like carpus. And in compound apertures, two types of apertures are noticed. They are colporate, a pore within the carpus, and pororate, a pore within the pore. And Gunnar Ekman, on the basis of apertures, prepared a system of classification, NPC system of classification, and it denotes that the spore classification based on aperture number as well as position and the character of the apertures with regard to microscopic tetrad. In this system, the term trim has been used for preparing the keys to classify the pollen grains. Based on the number of apertures, 9 types are classified. The N0 denotes that the pollen grains without apertures, and N1 is monotrim having only one aperture, N2 ditrim with 2, N3 tritrim with 3, N4 tetratrim with 4 apertures, and N5 pentatrim with 5, N6 hexatrim with 6, N7 polytrim grains having more than 6 apertures, and N8 the anemotrim, irregularly arranged spiral apertures on pollen irrespective of their number. And coming to the next character, position. Based on the position of the apertures, pollen are categorized into 7 groups. The P0 position of the aperture is unknown. P1 catatrim aperture is in proximal phase, and P2 anacatatrim apertures are present in both proximal as well as distal phase. P3 anatrim aperture is in distal phase. P4 zonotrim apertures are in equatorial zone. P5 dizonotrim apertures are in 2 rows on equatorial region. P6 pantotrim apertures are globally distributed all over the pollen surface. And coming to character, based on the character of aperture, pollen grains are identified as 7 types. C0, the aperture is not known. C1 is the leptoma, the aperture like thin area. C2 trichotomocolpate, 3 slit-like apertures. C3 colpate with colpa, means a furrow-like structure. C4 porate with pore, circular aperture. C5 colporate both colpe as well as pore or aura in apertures. C6 pororate aperture with pore and aura. Based on NPC classification, each pollen type is designated by a 3-digit number. For example, 343 denotes tricolpate grains, as first digit 3 denotes the number of apertures are 3. Second digit 4 denotes the position of aperture as zonotrim, and the third digit 3 denotes the character of aperture as colpate. Similarly, 3, 4, 5 of pollen indicates the tricolpate grains. Coming to applications of palynology, palynology is a branch of botany which deals with the study of spores and pollen grains of plants both extant as well as extinct. It is an interdisciplinary science of botany. It is byproduct of divergent disciplines like biology, geology, climatology, oceanography, paleobotany, aerobiology, and biochemistry. Pollen and spores are produced in enormous quantities by the following flowering and non-flowering plants respectively. Pollen grains have specific characteristic features on their exine layer which are specific on the base. they can be assigned to their respective genera and species. Palynology can be categorized into two: basic as well as applied palynology. Basic palynology includes the five aspects: the number and size, symmetry, apertures, exant stratification, as well as the exant ornamentation. And coming to applied palynology, this branch deals with the applications of pollen and spores. Various disciplines like botany, plant taxonomy, zoology, climatology, aerobiology, apiculture, plant breeding, phytogeography, agriculture, plant evolution, and oceanography. Even though palynology is a young science, it gained paramount importance in coal and oil industry because of its role in exploration of fossil fuels. Following are some of the important branches of palynology which are discussed in brief. The aeropalynology. This deals with the study of dispersal spores and pollen in the atmosphere. This dispersed spores and pollen, along with other microscopic bioparticles like bacteria, viruses, insects, and their wings, algal filaments, fungal spores, are called as palynomyxetum. The dispersed spores and pollen in the air when come in contact with human beings cause pollen allergy or pollenosis. It is not a disease but a disorder. The allergenic pollen as well as spore come in contact with human skins causes dermatitis or eyes. They cause the conjunctivitis. When they come in contact with the nasal membrane, they cause rhinitis or bronchial disorder called the asthma. Not all the people, but only 8 to 12% of the population get the suffering, and they are called as susceptible. There are different tests like wheel test, intradermal test, bronchial aerosol test, immune assay test, ELISA test, RAST, etc. to recognize the allergenic level, caveating spores and pollen in the patient. Immunoglobulin levels and types in the blood of the patient is recognized. Immunoglobulin S people are susceptible and immunoglobulin H people are not susceptible, that they are the resistance. The objectives of aeropalynologists are to recognize allergenic spore and pollen of the atmosphere, to study the seasonal variation dispersal potentials, to prepare the pollen calendars, to indicate the presence or absence of particular allergenic spore or pollen, and warn those susceptible people to avoid or escape from the allergen. For this purpose, aeropalynologists use different equipments which are known as aeroscopes. With PKK Nayer's aeroscope, spore pollen dispersal can be studied scientifically day by day, dispersal of spores and pollen of the atmosphere. In India, two allergenic seasons are noticed: the mid-August to mid-November, and the another one mid-February to end of April. Blackley was the scientist first to study the air spore of Kolkata city. It is the first report and paper published in the world. And S.T. Tilak from Maharashtra Marathwada University of Aurangabad is considered as pioneer aerobiologist in India. The others are Vishnu Mitre, D.N. Shivapuri, A.B. Singh, P.K.K. Nair, S.N. Agashe, C.G.K. Ramanujan, Sunirmal Chanda, Bhojraj, T.S. Nair, Kashinath Bhattacharya, M.R. Majumdar, R.T. Malarkar, and N.I. Singh. And the other aspect of palynology, the melissopalynology, which deals with the study of pollen grains present in the various honeys produced in the nature by honeybees. Honeybees collect nectar and pollen from flowers and add digestive enzymes prepared in their alimentary canal and mix up, deposit in the honeycomb cells for their use. Honey is a gift of flowers to man through honeybees. Honey is a supersaturated sugar solution prepared by the bees in the nature. It is a balanced diet and complete food. Objectives of the melissopalynology study various honey samples collected from different honeybees combs, from Apis dorsata, the rock honeybee; Apis cerana indica, small bee honey; Apis florea, little bee honey; and introduced European bee honey, Apis mellifera. And it is recognized the purity of honey samples. Study of honey samples helps to recognize the biological and geographical source of honey. The other objectives are to recognize the adulteration of honey, to recognize the bee forage plants. In turn, to find the potential areas suitable for apiculture. And the categories of honeys, they are categorized on the basis of pollen source, geographical source, and the type of extraction. Based on the combs, they are known as rock honeybee and small honey and little honeybees, little bee honey. Based on the method of extraction, they are called as squeezed honey or extracted honey. On the base of nectar source, honeys are called after its source plant as borassus honey, Syzygium honey, eucalyptus honey, brassica honey, citrus honey, as well as prosopis honey and coconut honey. On the base of locality, the geographical area, honeys are called as Coorg honey, Ooty honey, Kashmir, Arak honey, Paderu honey, Kulu honey, and Kangra. Based on the predominant pollen type present in the honey, it is categorized as unifloral honey sample which contains only one type of pollen up to more than 45% and above, or multifloral honey. No single species of pollen dominates and the nectar collected from various plants. G.B. Deodikar was the first to study the pollen present in honey from India. Central Bee Research Institute in Pune is the National Center for Honey Studies in India. Production of honey is the main source of beekeeping industry. In addition to honeybee keepers, they also get other products like bee wax, bee venom, bee glue, the propylene, and the royal jelly. In India, honey is used as a medicine, while in Western world, the Europe, Russia, China, and America, the honey is consumed as a food. And the coming to next aspect, the taxonomy, which deals the application of palynological data in solving the plant taxonomic problem on the basis of size, shape, symmetry, apertures, exine stratification, and exine ornamentation. Gunnar Ettman, father of palynology, used palynological data in solving the taxonomical problems successfully. On the basis of size, it is noticed that large sized pollen grains are primitive and small sized pollen grains are advanced one. And shape and symmetry, 6 shape classes are noticed as prolate, subprolate, perprolate, oblate, suboblate, and parablate. And apertures, they play an important role in most of taxonomical considerations. Ettman proposed the NPC system. The number n apertures may be 1, 2, 3, or 4, or many, or may be absent. This is the primary diagnostic character of palynological parlance. And the position denotes another diagnostic feature in which all these spores invariably have proximal apertures, while the pollen grains must have pollen apertures on their distal or equatorial positions or all over its exine, but not on proximal position. Coming to character of apertures, it is also useful in classification of taxa. Palynologically, angiosperms are stenopalnous, means the taxa of family shows more or less same type of pollen grains. Example, Poaceae, Amaranthacea, and Casuarinaceae. And the Eurypalnus taxa, which are having obvious difference in pollen types. For example, Rubiaceae, Acanthaceae, Verbinaceae, Convolvulaceae, and Fabaceae family members. And the exine ornamentation, it is also another primary character of pollen grains, and it is genetically controlled, constant, and differs from the taxon to taxon, hence considered as fingerprints of plants. Ornamentations are various types such as ciliate, granule, spinulate, spinate, echinate, gemmate, truncate, tuberculate, clavate, and fenestrate. Various pollen characters helped the plant taxonomist in determination of taxa at species, genus, subfamily, and family level. Some of the examples: earlier, the Nyctanthus odoratissima placed under Olicaceae and Verbinaceae by various taxonomists. That palynologically, it states that it is placed in independent family, the Nyctanthaceae. And earlier, Bambuck species were treated under Malvaceae. The pollen morphology, which suggests its separation from Malvaceae, and placed kept in independent family Bombycaceae. in which the pollen grains have reticulate ornamentation, while in Malvaceae members they will show the spinate and pantoporate condition of pollen grains. And the another example, separation of podophyllum from Barbadeaceae is suggested on palynological grounds. Based on the exine stratification, gymnosperms and angiosperms are considered under different phyletic group. The pollen of gymnosperms are lacking tectum and non-columellate, while pollen of angiosperms are having columella. In India, the palynotaxonomical studies were carried out by various workers like PKK, Nair, Shanta Devi, Bojraj, Ram Uda, Sunirmal Chanda, Tanika Mani, and T.S. Nair. The another aspect, pollen biotechnology. This deals with the management and manipulation of pollen grains for the production and improvement of crop and horticultural plants. Following applications of pollen biotechnology are given below to overcome pollination constraints and enhance crop, fruit, and vegetable production. In production of hybrid seeds by using cytoplasmic male sterility, genetic male sterility, self-incompatibility, and the introduction of pollen sterility through rDNA technology. Manipulation of useful genes to crop plants, production of haploid plants, and maintenance of pollen banks using cryopreservation of plants through various biotechnological applications. And coming to forensic palynology, this branch which deals with the application of spore and pollen grains useful in crime detection which are recovered from the crime site. A criminal was punished using palynological data recorded from the site of crime in Sweden for the first time in the history. And New Zealand is the world's leading country to use forensic palynology. From New Zealand, Mildenhall successfully proved that palynological data can be used as an evidence against criminals in the court of law. And the another discipline, paleopalynology, application of palynology, which deals with the study of fossil spores and pollen grains retrieved from sedimentary rocks of the geological past, means millions of years old. The sedimentary rocks which contain the plant fossil spores and pollen along with other organic debris from peat, lignite, and coal shales, bituminous and anthracite coals, sandstones and limestones, etc. Of these, lignite and coal deposits occur in the freshwater river basins, while oil deposits are deposited at the marginal seashore or seabeds in marine environment. The study of pollen and spores from sedimentary rocks enable us to evaluate the past vegetation complexes, paleoecology, paleogeography, and paleoclimatology of the basin. The microfossils, spores and pollen are called as index fossils, useful in the evaluation of age of the rocks and have applications in the fields of biology. Paleobotany, plant evolution, and in coal and oil industry, the most important and fascinating botanical application is the determination of origin of angiosperms by the palynofossils. The most primitive angiosperm pollen type was having boat shaped with a furrow-like aperture called sulcus, thus solving the time and age of angiosperms as 90 million years of old. And the role of fossil spores and pollen in exploration of fossil fuels. Fossil spores and pollen helps as markers in identification of fossil fuel deposits like lignite, coal, oil, and natural gas. The quality and quantity of the deposit as well as the botanical source of the deposits are authentically recognized by the fossils recovered from the deposit. Staplin developed a simple technique by applying a scale called after him as Staplin scale or thermal alteration index TAI scale. In this scale, 1.5 to 2.5 shows that the deposit is immature. When the scale shows 2.5 to 3.5, the deposit is matured deposit. We can expect oil and natural gas in abundance. If the scale shows 3.5 to 5, the deposit is overmatured, we cannot get any oil or gas, means the oil well is dry. So these are some of the pollen grains of Senna auriculata at 45x of the magnification.